Today we're handicapping the Cigar Mile, Grade 1 at Aqueduct. This is a $300,000 one-turn mile. I think is something very important to point out in this race. But this is a very competitive field made up of some excellent horses here with great track records. These horses have either raced in or raced against the top horses for 2008 and 2007 for that matter. So anyway, remember, two-turn mile, we're looking at some very accomplished horses, some very rich horses, and a horse about to be a millionaire and one that currently is a millionaire. The horse I'm going to go with in this race is a little off the chart. Is a horse named Stormplay. Smart Strike out of a Stormcat mare. This horse is coming off of a 57 or a 59 flat breezing bullet at Belmont on November 24th. 3-0. This horse is going to be carrying 114 pounds, and I think he, with Alan Jerkins, who's winning at a 46% clip in this current meet at Aqueduct, this horse is not as accomplished, not even close to being as accomplished as the rest of the field. But he's 9-2 in the morning line. He's coming off that great work. He's got two pretty strong victories. In his last race at Aqueduct, he beat Web Gem. And that horse has been a tough stakes competitor for quite a while, and he was coming out of a non-winners of one to beat a horse like Web Gem. Pretty strong performance. Okay, so we're going to go with him. I like the one-turn mile. He's got kind of looks like the Curlin type pedigree, slow getting into his groove, but once he found it, the horse can possibly take off. I think he's going to be an overlay. I think you're going to be looking at better odds than 92 on that horse. So anyway, we'll go through the list here. Visionaire, I think is going to get a piece of the money here. Now, this particular race, you're looking at a lot of speed. So the first half mile is going to tell the story for us in this particular race. But going through it, Visionaire has a great stretch run. He's really a one-run horse, and he hasn't been at Aqueduct. He's won almost $500,000. But on one-turn races, if you look back at the Grade 1 King's Bishop, 7 furlongs at Saratoga, he came flying home from the back of the pack. He was 10th by 14 lengths to win that race. And I'm looking at him running a similar style in this particular race. I think Arson Squad, I think we've seen the best of that horse. However, he's coming out of a Grade 2 victory and seems to be working pretty well. Has not had a race over the track. With the win here, he will go over $1 million as well. And you got Gare Gomez riding, so, and Richard Dutrow. So he has a chance to hit the board. I think he's probably made a little bit of a step in the right direction going into Dutrow's barn. He showed that by winning in Grade 2 in his first outing for Dutrow. But Prado didn't ride him today, so kind of something that stood out to me. He jumped off him to ride Tail of a Coddy. Harlem Rocker, you always got to look out for Stronach, and here's Stronach with a $500,000 horse, and looks to be very competitive. Is rarely off the board, and I think he's getting into his best type of distances, mile and possibly under. Bribone, this horse has been running against Optional Claiming Company, carrying 114 pounds today. He's always in the race. He really only threw one clunker out, and it was a allowance race for non-winners of 3. That does scare me a little bit off, have me jump off him a little bit. But in the back of your exotics, this horse just ran a 134-4 mile at Aqueduct against 3-year-olds and up. He won the race by 5.5 lengths, beating Mr. Triester. So I would not throw that horse off of the ticket. That brings us to Tail of a Coddy, another long shot. This horse has many victories coming off of good odds. He's not someone who's normally bet too heavily, but I think he's up against it in this particular race. He did win the Grade 2 Jerome Handicap, which has since been upgraded to Grade 1 status. So I think with Edgar Prado, we can throw this horse in the back of the exotics as well, but I don't think this is the best spot for him. But the one-turn mile definitely helps him. You come to Monterey Jazz. This horse is kind of a question mark to me. I mean, when he runs, boy, is he tough. This is his first long layoff. We don't really know how he's going to react to a big layoff like that. But his works don't show that he's slowing down at all. I mean, it looks like they didn't know what to do with this horse. Run him on the dirt, the turf, the poly track. But in the Lone Star race, he ran a huge buyer speed figure as the big favorite, pounded some good horses. So now he's the big question mark here. But I think he's susceptible today with the early speed that he's going to be getting pressured with. Now, he did win a mile and an eighth race at Santa Anita, going 45 for first quarter, which, you know, he may be just better than the rest of this field. So tricky horse there. When we come to my horse, Storm Play, we've already discussed him. I like his works. I like he's fresh. I like the training.